Welcome back, Chalky Milk Gang Podcast, Season 3, Episode 4, the 22nd episode of this podcast. We are super excited about this one. This is big time. This is what we're made of here. You know, we got the UMass Reindeer, Quinn McCarron on the podcast. He is the pride of UMass Amherst. We also got the usual trio. We got Tyler, we got Will. I don't even need to be said. I'm just no good. But, we got some really exciting guys here on this podcast. We're going to be talking about, college sports, what's it's like on our campuses. We got some very interesting perspectives here. Quinn is my guy from UMass. But, Quinn, just thank you very much for coming on the podcast here today.
Not a problem. I love to be here. It's been a long time coming. I'm excited. Love my chocolate milk. So
absolutely, this is sort of like the crossover of the century, I'd say. Maybe the millennium. Just because Quinn, he's got the reindeer costume. All of our YouTube people can see that, but also Quinn's private story on Snapchat is like chocolate milk fans or something. So you sort of just have to respect that.
You do. I mean, I've been a chocolate milk fan for as long as I can remember. It's been my drink of choice. So yeah, I love it.
Fit right in over here.
Exactly. That's crazy. Just because we also like chocolate milk, so it
that
seems
is
like we have interesting.
Crazy.
We have some similarities here right off the bat.
What other similarities? What was it? I'm pretty sure you have your own sort of social media, Twitch,
so
right?
I'm on all the social medias. My Twitter is like the first thing I created. I kind of blew up on UMass Twitter. I got to represent them. So I got Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. Do a lot of streaming on there, and then YouTube. Hopefully, I'll get going pretty soon. So yeah, all UMass Reindeer, easy to find.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Yeah, UMass_Reindeer on Instagram. He puts out some fire tweets as well. Very good takes on baseball lately. We're just super excited.
Yep. I mean, crazy World Series we're having. So,
crazy World Series.
I'm giving analysis on all that.
Absolutely. Shout out to me winning $15 off the Rays in the crazy game. But, let's just dive right into the Chalky Milk reviews here. We got some very interesting perspectives right here, right now. Who's going first?
I think the guest should go first.
That's fair. Quinn McCarron.
So I'm going to tell you about the Quinn McCarron special here. This is my own homemade product here. I used the Base's Hood 2% milk. Sometimes I'd like to go whole milk because gets the most. It tastes like cream. But then I'm trying to stay healthy with myself. So I got the 2% today. And then the base, I use Hershey Premium Sauce. I fill that up to about here, and then stir it for about roughly 30 seconds. And that's how I get my chocolate milk. And I'll give a review right now.
Ooh.
That's a big gulp.
Big gulps for the boys.
That's an 8.3 right there. That's an
8.3
Wow.
right there, right now.
I've had better because obviously I'm working with what I got. But that's a solid baseline for chocolate milk. If it's worse than that, I still love it, obviously, because it's chocolate milk. But that's the bar I hold myself up to. I look for chocolate milk better than that.
Ooh. That's awesome.
I gotta say, what was it? Hershey's syrup and regular milk. That's a tried and true combination. You can't go wrong. Completely respectable. You use a lot of chocolate syrup as well, so that's real rich.
It's you gotta get the chocolate flavor to come out. So that's what I go for.
Gotta respect it.
You do have to. That is exciting. I don't know. We just don't really get the homemade chocolate milks very often, so it's super cool. Tyler, what do you got today?
Today we got something a little different, or not a little different, just I wasn't expecting it to look so nice. We got Cambridge Crescent Ridge.
Whoa.
This is from Sharon, Mass. It's got
Hey, my friends are from there.
Sharon, Mass?
Just one of them.
Yeah, it says it right here on the thing. This bottle is exciting. It is totally minimalist. There's no dietary anything on it. You cannot tell what the fat content would be. I have no idea what to expect. It just looks fantastic.
The glass bottle.
The supermarket even charged me for the bottle because they want me to return it. That's how you know this.
Wow.
That's
local brands. I am pumped. I did not see this the last time I was in the supermarket today or last week. Shout out Star Market, by the way.
I'm sensing a 9-0 here. I'm just going to say.
Sensing a high rating.
Oh my God. Yeah. One of the best parts about it is I think the chocolate flavor, it's not even that strong in comparison to what you're used to, but it still hits really good. The milk itself is really creamy as it is, but the chocolate flavor isn't overpowering. It is a little weak, actually. I really enjoy this. Don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't put this. This has got to be like an 8-7. I'm gonna say it's just not as chocolatey as I was expecting. I was expecting like that real rich pure chocolate, and it's not. But it's definitely, it's very thick, very flavorful. I got a lot of emotions out of that. It just wasn't the emotions I was expecting.
That's pretty hype, though. I don't know. I just feel like, when you get that type of bottle, it's just going to be next levels. That's exciting.
That's like a show.
It's still really good.
That's a great, yeah. That's like when you put it in a glass bottle, that's the chocolate milk equivalent of throwing your fastball. That's when you know it's not a juice.
Mm-hmm.
It's about showmanship.
Mm-hmm.
I can go next. So I didn't have any chocolate milk, so I went to one of the places you can like walk in and buy food on campus. And I don't know if this counts. It's like a protein shake because it was the only chocolate milk like thing there. We'll give it a go.
Give it a go. I think if does it taste like?
It's like a protein shake.
Okay.
not great. Kind of like the Snickers. Kind of reminds me of the Snickers thing.
See, y'all just give a lot of slander to the Snickers name, but that was a great chocolate milk, all right? That was a 9-1, all right?
I mean, according to you.
Yeah, according to me, and I know my chocolate milk.
Quinn, have you tried the Snickers?
I have not tried the Snickers.
It's a controversial subject.
Yeah, it is. It does sound.
Don't even listen to what they have to say.
I don't want to rank this because I feel like it doesn't even count as chocolate milk. The flavor is all over the place. I can't tell if it's good or not.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to review it. Don't feel pressure.
I'm not going to review it because it doesn't. It's not true chocolate milk.
Mm-hmm.
It gets an NA.
It gets an NA. It needs to actually be chocolate milk.
It's literally performance enhancing drugs. It's bad for the game.
Yeah. Do you feel protein vibes?
I feel like I'm already stronger.
Okay, that's good. That's important. Well, Tyler had a glass bottle in his chocolate milk. We almost have the same thing. We got Walmart chocolate milk. This was actually sent in as a recommendation from one of our fans, Olivia Murray. This is someone that we haven't met before, so it's just exciting. She was like, hey, can we see some Walmart chocolate milk? I see it at the store. I just need an expert opinion. I'm like, yes, let's do it. So what I did is I drove my car out to Walmart, and that's what I did. I got some chocolate milk. We got the Walmart. This was like $2, very cheap. So we're pleased with the price point. The question is, will I be pleased with the flavor? And the question is, I just don't know if we are, but honestly, it's looking pretty solid here. Looks like chocolate milk. That's important. The color's pretty good. It says sell by November 9th, and it's October 26th today. So I think we're good there.
With those
it smells like absolutely nothing, so that's not a good sign. But we're just gonna dive right in.
He looks confused.
Flexed.
I'm guessing he's gonna say it tastes like nothing.
I don't really know where to start with this one. It's like it's not that good. I will say that to start. I honestly had somewhat high expectations for no reason whatsoever. It's not that good. I'm trying to decide if it's like better than True Moon, or like where it is on like the spectrum between like it's nowhere below like a 4, but it's nowhere higher than a 7. You know what? Yeah, it's below a 5. It doesn't have any flavor. I'm sort of thinking about it now. I'm comparing it to like other chocolate milks I've had, and this it tastes like water. Okay, it's below 4. I think we're like, at first I was like, okay, this is chocolate milk, but then I'm realizing like when I compare it to like Promised Land stuff like that, it's just nowhere there. For $2, you cannot go wrong with getting anything, I feel like. So, I don't think you can get like too upset at this, but this is a 3.6. It's crazy how like I first was like, okay, this is solid, and then now I'm like, no, this isn't any good. 3.6. It won't get you upset or anything because it's $2 for that whole thing. Like this glass right here is probably like 30 cents. But yeah, it's not necessarily the highest scoring chocolate milk we'll have.
The other thing I was going to say, I feel like it's tough. We want to give people recommendations for different chocolate milks that they should get, but a lot of these are regional, The one I just had, like, you probably can't get that anywhere else if you're not in the like this close Massachusetts area. And we try to get stuff like Walmart, because that type of thing is available anywhere you go, but it's just not going to be as good because at the end of the day, local brands are better.
Yeah, I think if you can, definitely go somewhere else and get chocolate milk. But if this is all you got, then this is all you got. You can't really go wrong there.
Yeah. All right. What was it? Well summarized, I gotta say.
Yeah. Just bringing the content to the people, I'd say.
I gotta ask, Quinn, what's your favorite chocolate milk you've had?
My favorite chocolate milk, I went to high school in Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, and every once in a while we got blessed with we'd have normal Oakhurst milk it was good chocolate milk. That's great chocolate milk, but it was not the super premium chocolate milk, which came around ever so often. It only came around when there was a mistake in the shipping. So maybe 2-3 times a year, we get this Oakhurst super premium chocolate milk that tasted like you were drinking a chocolate cake. It was rich. It was beautiful. I'm like getting emotional just kind of thinking about it. So
we're gonna have to try it.
Oakhurst super premium chocolate milk.
Dude, that sounds good.
That sounds amazing.
One of us had a dream a few nights ago where it had something to do with chocolate cake, and we were like, what would like a chocolate? Yeah.
It was like me and Tyler were drinking chocolate milk, and then we like made it into chocolate cake. And I think we should look into the possibilities of that in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's exciting though. Big ups to that. Just going into like our topic for today, we got the UMass Reindeer here is probably like pretty much like the best sports analysis person in the country. Like that, I don't even know if I had to say that. It's just not even an argument. But we got 3 universities here represented. We got UMass, Amherst. We got Boston University and Tufts, which is a D3 school. I don't know. Sports are definitely a big part of like our school's cultures, except for Will's. He goes to Tufts. But they do have sports. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it'd be interesting to just talk about like what sports are like at our schools and whatnot. I don't know. Tyler, do you want to start?
I mean, as nice as that intro was, I wouldn't say sports are a really big part of our culture here. I mean, they definitely, they definitely have some impact. Hockey is like considered to be pretty big. And I don't know, there are like other sports the athletes definitely are like a big part, but I wouldn't say like going to games and like feeling the school spirit is something that you find a lot at BU just because we're a really like diverse campus. Like so many people are constantly doing so many different things, so many different passions, outlooks on life. So it's like when you get all that diversity, it's kind of hard to come together on certain things. And even hockey, you only get like 200 kids that go to like any given game. There are some exceptions, of course. Beanpot is a really big tournament that we all go to. I don't know if you guys know, but it's a really simple tournament every year. It's Northeastern, Harvard, BU, and oh god, who am I forgetting? Northeastern, Harvard, BU,
UMass Boston?
BC.
Oh, BC, Boston College.
See, they suck. So they're just like out of my
BC is not a school. Let's just state the facts.
It's a fake Boston school. But basically, it's simple tournament. Everybody goes nuts for it. They have it at TD instead of like the local hockey arenas, and it's amazing. But outside of that, like people don't usually like go to that many games. It's more just like you see the athletes on campus and you're like, oh yeah, that person's wearing all gray, all BU merch. They're probably an athlete. So that's about it. How about you guys? I know UMass is like much more involved with sports.
So I'd say our hockey team, like, so UMass hasn't been the best in a lot of sports until recently. Hockey kind of emerged as like a big program. I think
that's facts.
Around when Greg Carville, who is our head coach, came into the realms, and he brought in Cale Makar, who is an absolute stud. Just won the Calder Trophy, Rookie of the Year in the NHL.
Wow.
So once that happened, I think a lot of people got involved in hockey games because it's always kind of a packed crowd. We normally sell out for like the big games like BC and like Hockey East tournament games and stuff like that. But the atmosphere in those games are incredible. It's kind of what I going into UMass, I wasn't that excited about going to sporting events or anything like that because I hadn't really heard much. But going to those hockey games, you instantly fall in love with the atmosphere, like the being in the fan section and learning all the traditions that you chant at, like goalies and stuff like that. You really just fall in love with it. It's an amazing experience. So that really kind of shaped my like fall semester, and I got involved with the UMass Militia, which is our fan section, and I started wearing reindeer costumes to the game, and now here we are.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's been
icon.
It's been an absolute pleasure, just following Quinn's career around. He's a big face in just in life, just because of his reindeer costume. He brings a lot of energy to the games. I don't know. I came to UMass not expecting any sports team to be anywhere remotely good or have any sort of following. So the hockey team has been a big plus for me. I went to a few games my freshman year and then went to almost all of them sophomore year when they were home. And it's just a great atmosphere. It doesn't necessarily sell out, but now it's not just the students that are really interested in the hockey games. It's pretty much everywhere else in the stadium is nearly sold out at least. And then the student section actually probably needs some more people on a typical game basis. But the atmosphere is really good. It feels way better than the minor league hockey games of the Bridgeport Sound Tigers I used to go to all the time. Shout out Fairfield County right there. Sound Tigers should probably move. They have no fans.
I think they did move.
Did they? I'm gonna have to look that up.
Surprise me, yeah.
They moved.
Yeah, I don't know. Just the hockey games are awesome. I'm not involved in the militia, but I am involved in eating ice cream every game. They have Maple Valley or Maple Line. Maple Valley. Yeah, some creamery in the arena. They ship it out from Hadley or something at bomb ice cream every time. So
what can you expect from UMass dining? And
it's just number one.
Bring it to the table every time.
Yeah, everyone else in dining is last. We're the only one that's good. So you just gotta love that. And the hockey there's the hockey team that's awesome, and the basketball team has started to get really exciting. They have Trey Mitchell, who won Atlantic 10 Rookie of the Year or something. They're in a solid conference where they bring in three teams to the tourney every year. So I think UMass actually has a pretty solid chance this year. I hope that Subaswamy lets us watch the games in person, at least let me and the Reindeer in or something, keep us socially distanced, and I think we're fine. But the UMass football team is awful. They make me cry. They make me go home and cry. They just it's just not a watchable product. Let's just say that. The football coach at UMass, he literally, when UMass canceled their season and they brought it back and just lost their first game 50-0 or something, he literally said, this feels worse than parents passing away or something.
When his parents passed away.
I'm
the worst day of his life.
I'm this is UMass is the second worst program in the country. And the only reason why we're not the worst is because we actually beat the worst by certain amount of points. I don't think we deserve to win that game either. We're just not a good program. There's nothing to be excited about in UMass football. Their stadium is dreadful. Their uniforms were really bad for a long time. Just, UMass is an interesting position in terms of sports.
It is sad. It is sad that UMass football is just an embarrassment on the national scale. So it's tough to you deserve like a medal for sitting through those football games if you sit
Oh
through
yeah.
them, because it's so hard. It's so hard to just watch incompetence. Like we run the ball on like 3rd and 11. Like why are we?
What are we
that?
doing there? We don't have Adrian Peterson on there. Like we have some guy. No good. So. Tough team. Will, you're a D3 school. What's that like?
Yeah. So, well, just in terms of like competence, we're actually like pretty good at a lot of like D3 sports. Like soccer, we've won like 3 out of the past 4 D3 tournaments. It's kind of like the big one I know. I know softball's good. Women's and men's soccer is good. Football's like whatever. And just in terms of like culture, there's really not a huge sport culture. Like the gymnasium is like quite small, and so there was like a playoff game here last year, and it was like a packed house, but it's like that's probably like 200 people, mostly like a lot of like community people and like families. There's no like following. Chima, you mentioned this before we started, but there's this thing that there's like 2 important football games a year, and I was told that on my tour. It's just like not true. There's 0 important football games.
Mm-hmm.
The homecoming.
People tailgate for them though. Like it's like a big,
there's
like
the homecoming game is like just an excuse to like pretend we're at a state school, but nobody goes to the game. It's kind of just like homecoming weekend is more of a thing than the homecoming game. I went to a game last year. My dad came to visit, and I think it was like parents' weekend. So like, they play a football game for the parents. And my dad played football here when he went here. And it's just like, there was like 5 people in the stands. Like, it's just not a sport environment. And if I could change that, I would, because I really do think I would enjoy like a tailgate, like football, hockey, really anything culture. But it's just not like that here.
Yeah. Quinn, I'm sensing a lot of similarities to our football program right there. Like, our tailgates are actually like pretty good. I'd say we're definitely like a top 50 school in terms of tailgates, and then no one goes to the games. I remember a lot of like my tailgating experiences freshman and sophomore year. I'd have a great time at the tailgate. Then at 3:00 when the game starts, I leave and I take a nap, and then I wake up after the game ends. So, there's definitely some similarities there. And Tyler, you guys don't even have a football program.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. Just before I get ostracized by the BU community, I should at least sing the praises of our athletic programs. Like, we're really good at sports. Don't get me wrong. The BU hockey team donates players to the NHL like every year.
They donate them.
It's really charitable stuff.
Yeah. We donated Cale McCarr to the Avalanche.
Of course.
Yeah. Should have gotten some money for that. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
But we also, we win the Patriot League with a bunch of different sports every time. That's like the D1 league that we're in the area. Like, the programs are good, don't get me wrong. It's just not a huge following. But I was going to say, we have a small following for hockey, or like more of like a medium following. I don't know. But like, that's the one thing is we don't have football. And people love to complain all the time. It was a huge thing by my freshman year. Like, hashtag bring back BU football has been a thing. Not because anybody actually wants to watch football, but because tailgates would change the identity of this school.
That's
facts. My God. You guys are like, oh yeah, tailgates. Like, it was kind of fun. It was kind of, I wish I could at least just say something, because tailgates, they just seems like an iconic college thing. Just never got to do.
Yeah.
So.
Facts. Well, you guys got to come to UMass one time when COVID's over. When will that happen? Maybe never, but let's hope, because I don't know, tailgates are exciting. You don't really need to have like a good football program. Just like go to a state school pretty much, and people will know what to do before the game and after the game. They may not know what they do during the game. It may involve a lot of napping, a lot of going to the dining halls, but you still just gotta love it. I don't know.
Yeah, and I just want to say, like, we're not tailgating here. Like, you wouldn't even know there's a football game happening. It's more just like an excuse to darty in some yard.
like our tailgates aren't like, well, for the parents and whatnot, they're actually like going to the football game. Tailgates are more like grilling and whatnot. For us, it's like a block party pretty much on like in like a parking lot, I'd say. Is that fair, Quinn?
Yeah, that's fair. I would say that UMass has alumni that are very dedicated to the school, and that do tailgate, like grill and like have cornhole and stuff like that out. There's like a couple hundred of those people, and they go to most of the games. That's like a small dedicated group of people that love the football program and want it to succeed, and I pray for those people.
Yeah.
Fine for a lost cause.
Yeah. Honestly, it is because like UMass, so they were in the FCS for a long time. Like that has schools like North Dakota State. Like they're probably like the best FCS school, and it's like very exciting football. It's like a tier below FBS football, which is like Alabama and Clemson and whatnot, but it's still Division I. And UMass was really good in it. They won like a national championship in 1998 for it, which is a pretty big accomplishment. And then they changed to FBS in like 2010 or something, and they are just so bad in FBS. Like they, I think I saw something where it's like every other school that did the transition from FCS to FBS in that time made a bowl game. UMass has not won more than 4 games in a season. So it's just like, that's the stuff that makes me cry, because it's like, we could be in the FCS and play schools like Maine and New Hampshire and get a bunch of fans at the games and it'd be exciting football. But, we just sell out for money. Like we go to stadiums, lose 50-0 and get like $60,000 for it. And it makes me cry. It's not good.
Yeah. See, the problem with Northeast like college football is non-existent. It's BC.
Non-existent.
It's BC and us, and BC is having a pretty good football year. I'll give that to them. Not saying the praise of the BC by any way, but
not a school.
It's tough to recruit here because we don't have homegrown talent. Always goes to the big schools of like it's been a problem in Northeastern athletics for a long time. I'd say basketball, we're just getting back on track. I think BC's landing some guys. I think UMass is landing some guys, and some of the Ivies like Harvard and Yale are getting decent programs together.
Yeah.
But football's miles behind. We have 2 teams and no one goes to them.
I think UConn made like the Fiesta Bowl one time recently, but they're also no good.
UConn had when they had a couple of decent seasons, and then they fired their coach and they have fallen off the face of the earth. They're just like us now. I wouldn't say they're as bad as us, but they're getting there. So they haven't had a very successful season in a while. They're not even playing football right now. So
can we just talk some smack about BC here? Because like I think all of our schools have some sort of relation to BC, and I gotta say, like, terrible programs, just no good at like anything. Like I don't even know if they should even exist.
I feel like I have to rep for this episode. I don't know why I did this before. You guys can talk.
All right. So
yeah.
One of my favorite BC stories is BC made an NCAA tournament. No, excuse me, they didn't do that. They were in the ACC tournament, and for men's basketball, got eliminated in like the first round. And there was a senior, obviously emotional. He just lost his last game of his college career, and he was asked what his favorite part of BC basketball was, and he pauses for about 10 seconds, and he says, going out to eat.
That's about right.
I think you could do that anywhere.
So he didn't have like a game. He didn't have like anything. He just had going out to eat. So BC is the like, when you think about Northeast athletics, you think about BC, and they don't rep us well. Like they had success in football for a long time, and then they made some poor decisions with the athletic department and are now falling off. They're having a good season this year. Hopefully they'll rebound. I think it's good for the Northeast and all of our colleges if BC does well, because it'll attract people to Northeast and people want to see those games. But BC doesn't understand that they're in the position of the head of the Northeast, and they should be scheduling teams in the Northeast. They don't play UMass in football. They don't play UMass in basketball. They refuse to do that. They're desperate to be part of like a big part of the ACC, when really they're just they're the small fish in a big pond. And it's sad to see that they refuse to have any interaction with UMass and BU and Northeastern and colleges like that, who would love to play them and would love to have that rivalry and try to build their own program so that Northeast brings itself up together.
Yeah.
But BC won't do that.
I'd just say it's an inferior program. Just no good. No.
That's some incredible analysis. I don't think any of us have thought about it that deep. But I was gonna say that too. Screw BC. They're elitist and they think they're better than everybody else.
And they're not.
They're not in Boston.
Newton College.
They're not in Boston. Chestnut Hill.
Chestnut Hill is not Boston.
Newton, Mass.
Literally that's the last stop on the green line. That's not.
That is the last stop on the green line.
Half.
Just put on my Lou Rowe jersey. Shout out Lou Rowe from when UMass made the Final Four in like 1998 or something, and then they got taken away for gambling or something. That's
we keep the banners up. We keep the banners up. The NCAA cannot take anything away from us. Okay,
yeah, they're trying to take away women's tennis.
Now,
like, come on.
They're trying to take away our women's tennis 2017 conference title.
BS. It's just not fair.
Wow. They can't take it away. So it's not fair. But
BC is one of the only schools that has like a significant football program. But I always like to think about it like that's all they have.
Yeah.
Like I think about all the schools in our area that have
BC has like one of the best hockey programs.
Incredible. I mean,
but they're also no good.
No. Like I can't
accept.
I can't talk smack about all of their athletic programs because their hockey program is decent. It's not as good as ours, but it's decent.
Yeah.
And and they have a good football program. Those are like the real only like factors I can think about when I think about BC. Just why else? There's nothing to do there. There's no. That's it for school spirit.
What's their purpose of existing? That's my question.
You have to ask it.
They get my shoelaces in a twist. That didn't make any sense.
That's not the phrase.
Yeah, they got my shoelaces in a twist.
They tie my. They really tie
my shoes. Tyler gets the Velcros. He doesn't tie his shoes.
You never learned the bunny ear thing.
Mm-hmm.
I do double bunnies.
I do double bunnies. Who doesn't do double bunnies?
I think I do single and then I wrap around. And then you get two anyway.
You get two. Yeah, always end up with two.
You always end up with two, and that's what matters.
Mm-hmm.
Magic.
Yeah. Yeah, they really tie my shoelaces. Like,
my shoes.
I'm sorry. Okay.
No, that was funny. I think I have like 5 of those moments of podcasts, so it's all right.
Yeah.
It's
about time I take one for the team.
Mm-hmm. Will's never gonna have one of those though. He's just he just gets it too much.
Yeah, I usually just stop talking if I get confused, and then there's an awkward pause of me trying to like process the English language.
Oh yeah, English is hard.
He's too eloquent, but
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say so outside of our own schools, because obviously Quinn has given some fantastic analysis that none of us could even compare to in terms of like the athletic culture of the Northeast. Like wow. But we also have some friends that go to schools with bigger athletic programs, like bigger, like, sports programs, big football teams. We know people like Penn State and other schools and stuff. And I got to say, like, the atmosphere and environment of going to a football game at like a school like Penn State is something that I feel like I have to experience at least once in my life.
Oh, facts.
Oh, yeah.
At least on a college level. Like, that looks so crazy, like so much fun. Like that's those are the brief moments when I really question why I came to this school. As much as
facts.
Yeah,
like
it's kind of like stupid, but like we also have friends at like Syracuse and Indiana who have pretty big basketball programs.
Mm-hmm.
And so like when they talk about like going to basketball games, or like at Syracuse when they played Zion, like they played Zion, like it was insane. And like it's those moments where I'm like, maybe I should have just like gone for a fun school,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Would have cost less.
I think we all made the right decisions in regards to where we went to school. I think we can't overthink that. But
no, I'm not like
first off,
it's like I kind of wish I had the taste of that.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to the Indiana Hoosiers. They beat Penn State in football. Shout out to Gerard Van Spandock. That's a big win, and I don't really like Penn State that much in terms of a sports program. So go them. But, yeah, I don't know. I wish my mom went to Syracuse. I almost went to Syracuse. The Carrier Dome would have probably been the only reason why I would have went. Like, UMass had it all in terms of, like, finances, like, food, everything else, but Syracuse had the Carrier Dome, which is where they play their basketball and whatnot and their football too. So they beat Clemson in football. Like, that was a big moment.
Yeah, they had a good year last year.
Having those sort of schools where, like, going to a school like that where you pretty much ride or die on your football and basketball teams, like, sounds like a very cool experience. Football, even this year, like college kids, they're not really caring about COVID, and they're still tailgating and just having the time of their lives. And, like, as much as that's irresponsible, kind of would like to experience it.
Yeah, you got to respect the hustle.
You do have to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's interesting how college football is, like, working this year, though. It's like a bunch of the conferences were like, yeah, we're going to play, and then a bunch of the conferences were going to be like, yeah, no chance, and then they all just ended up deciding to play. So
Pac-12 is still not playing.
Oh, they're still not playing? When are they going to play?
So. They're spring or something. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing.
Interesting.
That's super interesting because, like, how are they going to – well, Pac-12, they don't usually make it to the, like, Final Four or anything, but it's like how are they going to – like, when is the college football playoff going to be? Like, I don't know.
College football is a mess right now. I mean,
it is such a mess.
Yeah, true.
Like, no one knows who's playing each other. It's like UMass, I think, like, has like 3 games scheduled, and they're all like on 2 weeks apart or whatever. It's really weird right now.
I think UMass has a rule; they're not allowed to score a touchdown. I think that's their rule. They followed it the first game. I wonder if they're going to follow it the next 2.
Yeah, that's might be a rule they have.
We're social distancing from the touchdown.
Tanking for the first overall draft pick. Tank for Tua or tank for Trevor Lawrence. So I think that's what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy how they're social distancing from the end zone, though. They stay, like, as far away from it as possible. They can't even get a field goal.
Did they score in the first game?
No, they did not.
What was the final score of that game?
We missed a field goal. I know that. So we at least attempted to score.
We attempted. We tried our best.
I think it was 43-0 or something.
Yeah.
Wow.
Against Georgia Southern, which I don't really think they're, like, that great of a football school.
That's a decent school.
It's like a solid. They play at Turner Field, I think. Wait, no.
I'd say if UMass was to live up to its potential, and maybe in the next 25 years, we could beat Georgia Southern.
Mm-hmm.
Caliber of good.
That's right.
I praise.
I praise.
It's a dark time thing to
say. Dark time for the UMass football team. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a bummer.
Yeah, but college football in general right now, it's tough to see because, like, how can you tell who's the, like, best team in the nation when everyone's playing in the same only playing conference opponents? Like, I think Michigan started the year 21st. Won 1 game, and now they're 13th. How does that make any sense? They played 1 game, and then they're the 13th best team in the nation against another team who also hadn't played football. So it's like I think you can every other sport you could be like, this season makes sense. Like, the best team won. I don't think you can say that in college football, no matter who wins this year.
Absolutely not. I don't know. At least they're, like, playing somewhat of a solid, like, at least they're playing some games. Like baseball, I think it's fair to say, like, the 2 best teams, the Dodgers and the Rays, are in the World Series, and they probably would have been in the World Series, or at least the best teams, if it wasn't for a 60-game season. But whoever wins that World Series, that is going to have an asterisk, which really stinks, just because it was a 60-game regular season. But it's like, at least football, like, teams are playing like 7 or 8 games at least, but it's like, I think just having, like, one of the Power 5 conferences just, like, not playing till the spring, that's just going to screw everything over.
Yeah.
I think in general the college football system's already, like, so weird how they
it's
like
so
rank.
fun.
Like, it's a subjective rank.
It is crazy how they run that. The NCAA is a mess of an organization to start.
Terrible organization.
Don't know how to run their sports. It's
Like, what was that? There was that one team in like Florida or something that went like undefeated for like 4
UCF,
years.
yeah.
UCF and, like, never got ranked higher than 6th because they played their conference. But it's like, well, they went undefeated like by a considerable margin. Like, how do you really compare them? It's so hard.
Yeah. I
think they went to like a bowl game, like a pretty big bowl game, and they beat.
They won.
They won.
So they had an undefeated season and weren't national champions, which is crazy that team doesn't even have a shot to prove they're the best. I'm not saying they were the best. I'm just saying
they probably weren't. But I think the college football playoff is just awful. Like, I think it was even worse before because they only let 2 teams in, and that was just like the national championship. Now they have 4, but it's still all subjective. I think what they should do is Power 5 conference winners make it in no matter what, top 5 seeds. Then the other 3 seeds are wild cards, and which allows for like one like non-Power 5 team to get in. Yeah, like a Notre Dame or something like that. But it's like, at least with having like the top 5, like the Power 5 conference winners go in, at least that's not subjective. That's not like an opinion-based thing.
Yeah.
Because obviously you can't. I'd say where people the thing that people love about college sports, I think the most, is probably the NCAA tournament.
March Madness
for college basketball, which is everyone loves that. No one complains about it because if your team didn't get into that tournament, they probably weren't going to win it all because, I mean, it's 68 teams, and if you weren't not one of the top 68 teams, I mean.
Yeah, you can just go to the NIT.
Lower seeded teams are usually like 500 in a good conference, or like 750 in like a bad conference. So it's like, everybody that should be there has made it.
Yeah.
College football, it's like you have that controversy every year. Like, this team should have made it. This team shouldn't have made it. This team, I don't even know why they're here. This team, like UMass, like you can just go leave. Tufts, they should have a chance to prove themselves, even though they're D3.
Dude, we can't even beat like Wesleyan. Like, Wesleyan is our like football rival. It's freaking weird.
Yeah.
Wesleyan out in Connecticut. Yeah. Craziest time.
Dude, BU basketball was supposed to be in March Madness this year.
Yeah, they won their conference, and then COVID. At least they got to win their conference. Most schools, like, they didn't even get like UMass. The season got canceled 3 minutes before our tip off.
Yeah, we were literally about to tip off. I was ready. I was watching in my dorm room, ready to watch the game, and then the game got canceled. Like,
the game got canceled.
Matt McCall's our head basketball coach waving his arms like, "Stop! We're not playing." It's like, okay, well, damn.
Yeah, I saw that guy running the other day, and I just didn't know what to do. I was too starstruck.
He's a legend.
He is a legend.
It's bringing UMass basketball back.
Yeah. So at least BU can say they won their conference that year.
BU has a solid basketball program. I think they almost upset Kansas a couple years. They were almost a 16 seed. I think they snuck in, and then they almost beat Kansas in their first round game. So that's solid.
Is it fair to say they're like the best in the country?
Cool.
Yeah.
I think so.
Well, anyway,
exciting stuff.
We've been running a while. Do you want to give any concluding thoughts? I mean, we've talked about a lot of different things here. So
yeah, lots of rambling. I'd just say that, UMass got to figure out their football program. I'm really excited about their basketball program. I think our atmosphere is pretty good. Hopefully they let us in for some games this year, and college football playoff is awful. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
I'll give my final words on UMass. I think we're entering kind of a great period in UMass athletics, despite our football team being a laughing stock. We have our basketball program is back. I'm going to say UMass basketball is back.
They're
Marcus
back.
Camby, Trey Mitchell. Some people are saying the best player since Marcus Camby. Marcus Camby was an absolute legend. So I'm excited for that. Our hockey program is stable, top team. Just got released that they're 7th in the nation. So that's awesome. And I'm excited to unfortunately not be at the games, but I'm excited to watch the games this year. Maybe later in the year, maybe 2021, we could watch some of the ones at the end. So I'm excited. I'm excited for UMass sports.
Great. Awesome. Hey, thank you so much for coming on, Quinn.
Not a problem.
Wait, do you not have any final thoughts?
I mean, I don't know. Everything is kind of messed up. Give it time. Once COVID goes away in like 3 years, everything will be more clear.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Will, are you guys going to win the national championship this year?
I mean, you can't lose if you don't play. So we're thinking we're going undefeated.
That's
More
what
than
we were
happy-
thinking, and then we played.
Yeah. We're more than happy to have the official UMass Reindeer on our podcast.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it, boys. I appreciate it.
And yeah,
love being on.
subscribe, like, do all that stuff with
Comment.
UMass Reindeer's socials.
Yeah, we'll put it in the description below. And make sure you're watching us on Spotify, listening to what we're saying on Spotify without having our faces in there, because you just got to love that. Spotify, we need some more followers there. But, that link will be in the description. It was an absolute pleasure having the Reindeer on, like pretty much just a legend already.
So I was going to say.
Great intramural sport player right there.
We respect you. You suited up in the Reindeer suit for
I
us.
had to.
Yes.
I had to.
And so we had to return the favor at least halfway through.
There you
Throw
go.
on some
merch.
basketball, hockey jerseys and stuff.
I have no tough
Yeah, no tough.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Boys. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, man.
Take us home.
Yeah, well, hey, absolute pleasure. Great content for the people. We're just going to keep ripping out these podcasts. And, in the meantime, hey, until next time, see ya.